All right, so let's take a look at these two sound layers that you have here. We have this one here. And this one here. Those are really great synth lines. And so what we're going to do is, because you have these two layered over in your track, we're just going to take a look at the frequency response of them with the analyzer to see where they're sitting in the frequency spectrum and see how we can get them to fit a little bit better in the mix. So here's this sound. So there's some clear peaks around the 600, 700 mark, as well as a spike around the 4.8K area over here.
Yeah.
And a little bit down low there as well. So let's take a look at the second one here. And see, they're really close to where they're peaking. This one's peaking around the 600 mark, if I remember correctly. And this one's around the 400 area. Right? So if we're going to want to get these to sit really well together, we're going to have to do some clever EQing here so they can gel a little bit together. It's actually wise music production to be aware of this as you're doing your composing process. So we're not adding layers that are in the same frequency spectrum to begin with, but that's okay. That we can do a little bit of backtracking here to clean up. So I'm just going to throw in a couple EQs on both of them.
Okay.
And so now we need to make a decision about what we want to be standing out more in the mix. Do we want this one to be dominant, or do we want this one? So what would you say? What would you prefer to be the more dominant layer?
Well, see, the bottom layer I thought was more of like a backing layer, and then the top layer was more of the, the lead.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we can go with that. So then to get this one to stand out, then we're going to have to do most of our cutting on this sound here. Okay. So just back to this lead sound you have. So that 600, 700 hertz area and the 4.8K area, that's what we're going to look at on this sound. So because that's where this one's peaking, we're going to cut this one in those exact spots. So let's go to the EQ, and I'll go like 650 because it's right in the middle of 600 and 700. We'll tighten up that Q and we'll do a really nice healthy cut. This is the DMG Equilibrium. I highly recommend it. This EQ is a total dream to mix with. It's better than the FabFilter's Pro Q in my opinion, and especially the native EQs that tend to come with your native DAWs. Highly recommend it.
So you tight EQ and then decibels like -6 or 7.
I'm doing that's a substantial cut. Like anywhere from like a 2 decibel cut is a pretty small cut in my books. Whereas if you start getting over 5 decibel cuts, like we're taking out quite a bit of audio energy in that specific area, right? And that's the idea. To make these peaks fit into this sound, we kind of need to create like a puzzle piece kind of relationship where they fit nicely together. That makes sense?
Yeah. So okay, you've got the EQ that's on the
This is on the synth, on your backing synth.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that, because that's the one that you want in the background, that's where we're gonna put it in the background by cutting it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I might round these cuts a little bit more. I'm just gonna kind of test the waters a bit and hear how they sound together now. Okay. So I'm just gonna do a before and after so we can see if we can hear the difference. Like right now, they're both kind of clashing a bit and drowning each other out. So let's see if these EQ cuts make a difference. The idea is to make this sound a lot more audible. That's what we're after.
Okay.
So it's poking out a little bit better. So, but I think it could come through a little bit better. So I'm going to do deeper cuts here and maybe round them out a little bit more.
Okay.
And see, like the one thing I would encourage about mixing is don't be afraid to do big cuts. Like sometimes taking out lots of audio energy is actually exactly what you need, because we're actually removing, I've just removed essentially 20 decibels. If you add these two together, 20 decibels of amplitude from this sound from different parts. So this will actually help us get our master louder, because I've just created a lot more headroom when it comes to the mastering stage. There's less amplitude, so we'll hit our ceiling later. See, that's way better now. It's poking through, right? It's a night and day difference almost. This is before. after. Now this top one's a lot more dominant.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit more that we can do now though. Like looking at this sound.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut. So I'm seeing some spikes around this 200 hertz area here. I'm gonna cut this synth, the top one, your lead, in that area as well, because we don't really need that too much.
Oh, okay. Around 200.
Yeah, around 200.
So the thing is, oh yeah, I already put an auto filter on there and cut off like up to, or wait, yeah, where's the auto filter? Oh yeah, because the auto filter is automated actually. That's why you don't have any bottom end on the synth.
That's cool. That's cool. I would filter it out anyways. Like if we're mixing, like I don't want anything under about 200 hertz in either of these sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'll sound a lot tidier. So yeah, good call there. I'm just kind of working with this is just like a basic mixing advice. Yeah. So we do want a little bit of energy. Like listen to how big of a difference in tonality the sound is with this EQ.
Yeah.
Like we've cut out quite a bit from it.
Yeah.
So, but we still want it to have a little bit of presence, and that's where that 200 hertz area, that's where it's going to give us. So if we go into the lead, the digital, more lead sounding synth, and we do that cut at 200 hertz, that's where the other one's peaking. So now we're even furthering the relationship, the puzzle piece relationship with these two sounds. See, now that sounds like it works and sounds like it's mixed together.
That sounds nice. Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah.
Awesome. The one thing that I wanted to ask you though was you said that, you know, when you're doing the sound design or like laying out the synths to begin with, you probably wouldn't want two that clash with each other anyways. Or
yeah,
just
totally.
So, I mean, like, I don't know. I was more
Joe.